Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. It's fantastic to have you here because we're working on this mean-looking Bowie knife. This is an exciting project that I'm learning a lot in, and I'm excited as ever to bring you along because we are going to be fitting this Tasmanian blackwood handle on the bolster, the tang, this part of the knife. Right. So I got the knife traced. I'm just going to now take a line which is along this graph point. I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom here. That can sweep in a little more. Alright, so I got this little piece of paper here, this tracing. Been a while since I've used any Pritt stick. And while giving myself plenty of clearance, we are going to stick that on. I'm also going to mark where we're going to cut the steel for the tang. I'm also going to take note that I need to shave off a little bit of this underside here. Okie dokie. We got our 2 holes drilled, so into the vise we go, and we'll start cutting it out. This is taking a good bit of time, but here's where I am right now. Still a good bit of gap, but it's nice and tight fit up to here. That's about an 100th thou gap, so I'm gonna knock this off, and we just gotta keep filing away and gently shaving away at the wood to get that fit up that we want. The thing I'm struggling with is knowing where to take away the material. So what I'm gonna doing is I'm just having a feel, seeing which way it moves more, this way and that way, or this way and that way. Okay, I'm tight on the sides near the top. Right, we halved the gap. That's 50 thou gap. Okay, we have contact, but what's interesting is we only have contact in just a few spots. On this corner here, I have a slight bit of air. I'll show you with a feeler gauge. About 10 thou of air there. 5 thou of air in this corner here, so 10, 5. This corner has full contact, then another 5 thou here. So it's kind of like twisted ever so slightly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna knock it off, and I'm just gonna shave away a little more of the wood so that I can establish a little more clearance to allow this to hopefully sit flush. I hope that works, and I hope this next fit up is the fit up that we work from, because it'll be a tight fit, and it'll mean that we won't have to bed the tang. So I couldn't get that gap to close up by kind of twisting that down. Instead, what I'm gonna now try is take some of this PSA sandpaper. This is 220 grit. Probably would have preferred my 120. But off with the handle. And I forgot where the gap was. Ah, good. The gap is on this side. Now I'm just gonna start gently sanding this side down a little bit, hopefully keeping it all flat, and just applying a little more pressure on the one side that needs more reduction. This block is making some interesting noises. See how it looks? Ah. Well, that's lovely. Now there's gap on both sides. It's not lovely, just in case you didn't realize, that's sarcastic. I hope this bolster area is flat. Okay, the bolster area isn't perfectly flat. 1 thou shim slips right in on the back side of it, or in fact, almost all the way around. 1 thou shim goes all the way around. Well, that's weird. Okay, now it binds somewhere. That's a little more reassuring. So I guess take it off, work on the bolster area some more, like the 11th time. At last! I've got it. That took some doing. And so with that done, here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little tip that I learned from watching some of Liam Hoffman's videos. So here is what I'm going to do. I am going to go 1.5 inches straight up from the edge of the bolster. Would you look at that? That's a 1.5 inch parallel. Isn't that handy? 1.5 inches straight up from the bolster, and then square with the center line of the bolster. I now have a little crosshair to work with. I'm going to give it a center punch. So I'm going to drill it out at 7 millimeters. Ooh, doesn't like that. That noise is why I'm doing this instead of what you've seen me do before. This steel we're trying to cut, Damascus steel, it's tough, right? And a big drill bit like this, we're not likely to snap it. We can make it through. A small drill bit, however, and I've experienced this. I experienced this in the 3-hour knife, the forged in fire knife. The small drill bit, sometimes we can't force it through the same way. I ended up snapping a drill bit there or dulling a drill bit, and I had to use a carbide end mill in that project. Here what we're doing is we're drilling out the hole large. We're gonna chuck some bronze up here in the lathe, and we're gonna turn it down to that 7 millimeters. I got distracted. It was too much fun making big chips. Okay, now we'll turn it down to 7 millimeters. There we go. And so now we put it in that countersunk hole, and we are going to rivet this bronze over. Now we'll grind the heads down. So that of course means that we're at the step where we permanently glue this handle material onto the tang. Once it's glued, we'll be able to take our measurement and take a little reference scribe that I made to be able to drill through the whole thing for our pin drilling through our bronze. So I'm going to degrease my pieces, give it a really thorough clean, and I'm going to pour out and mix out some glue, mix her up, and I'm going to pour it down into the handle. Put it on the tang and bolster area, and then in we go. You know, I think we could use some more. I'm going to mix up another little bit. Pour some more into there. There we go, that's a little better. Woo! Now I definitely know there was enough glue. And there we go, it's now gluing up. It's now the morning this is glued up, and I hope that it's kind of relatively set enough for us to be able to start grinding it, because that's what we're gonna do. You'll see it's a little bit twisted, and of course we're super heavy on the profile, so the first step is we are going to grind down the profile in this orientation right here. Once that's sorted, we're then gonna scribe up some lines to work to make sure that we've got it square, straight and centered from the blade. That means it is time to make some doys of the wood variety. Ugly. So now we're on our granite surface plate. We're going to give it the good old-fashioned Scottish scribe. We've got something to work off of. It's now time. Oh, there it is. To make even more doys. really messed up my order of operations. Big time. So what I did is I have a rough taper on the handle. Let me show you. See that? We got this rough taper here, which is great for making a handle, but it's terrible for then drilling a square hole through it like I need to for the pin. What I should have done is I should have just squared it this way and that way. Boom, done, then into the mill to drill the hole that we need to drill. Now this leaves me in this tricky predicament where I need to drill a square hole through this at an exact location, blind, and it's tapered. Oh boy. So that's a little bit of a problem. I'm gonna use the same parallel I used to mark my 1.5 inches, square it up to the wood. Okay, so I'm not particularly good at maths, so it took me a little bit of thinking to work out how to do this. Feel free to say, Alec, goodness gracious, this is simple mathematics. Well, I don't trust myself even with the simple mathematics. The difference in thickness here to here is about 6 millimeters, 6.02 millimeters. My original instinct was, okay, it's half of that is the difference that I need to block up a makeshift sign plate to be able to have our centerline square. But I wanted to make sure and double check that that was the case, and I found it super helpful to exaggerate things in a drawing to work out what to do. So I made this exaggerated trapezoid with 10 squares here, 2 squares there. The difference is 4 squares. My instinct was correct. We need to block up this side here by 3 millimeters to be able to get a straight square hole. So now I need to work out what is the drill that I'm going to use. Now I've decided that for the first time, oh no, I've used stainless pins before. Okay, not for the first time ever, I'm going to go stainless. This stainless is 1/8 of an inch, so 0.125, which is about 3.15 millimeters. Now my concern is that as we go into the wood and as we go through our bronze, the bit wanders. So I'm going to drill 3 millimeters on the dot to start with, and hopefully that means that any wobble isn't over the 0.15 millimeters. That would mean that we end up with an ugly oversized hole. I can always go back through the hole to enlarge it, but I can't make it smaller. In we go. I'm embarrassed to say how long it took to set this up, but I've got a 3 millimeter spacer here. We've got it set up here on top of the vice jaws. Oh my goodness. I dropped my wrench. On we go. Up with the speed. Woo! Okay, here we go. Oh, we're in the bronze. We're in the bronze. Oh, and we're through the bronze. Thank goodness. Oh, this is scary. Oh my goodness. We've done it! We're through! I hope it went well. Okay. That was nerve-wracking, but we have a hole. I am very pleased that I hit my mark there. The hole is good. I'm gonna see you on Monday, but first, make sure you head to alecsteelshop.com and grab yourself one of the new Doyers t-shirts. You know about that word, Doyers? Well, it's something that we've invented here, and if you like making a little bit of Doyers, you're gonna want the t-shirt too. alecsteelshop.com, head on over there, grab yourself a t-shirt, and I tell you what, if you use code PROCESS, you're gonna get yourself 10% off. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a fabulous day. I'm gonna see you on Monday when we finish this knife.